here to unveil this memorial bench to honour Janie Marie Swann. My name is Gray. I am the coordinator for Leeds First Friday, which, if you don't know, is the biggest regular trans social in the whole of the United Kingdom. Yay! And today is also our 15th birthday, so it's an extra special day. Janie was a cherished member of Leeds First Friday. We were so lucky to have her as a coordinator for 6 whole years. That was 2016 to 2022. This bench here could not have been possible without the generous contributions of both Leeds First Friday members and Leeds City Council. The bench will mean different things to each one of you, and today we have 3 speakers who will share what this bench means to them. First of all, we have Michelle Ann Moorhead, who is a dear friend of Janie's and will say a few words about her. Then we have Sophie Scott, who is a trans advocate at ITV and a key member of the Leeds First Friday team. And finally, we can't go ahead without mentioning the huge support we've had from Leeds City Council right from the beginning. Key to this is Jeff Turnbull, the EDI manager, Laura McNulty, City Centre Programme Manager, Councillor Biffle and Councillor Lewis, who we are delighted to have with us this evening and will also say a few words. After the unveiling, we will invite you all to gather for some photos and to take some selfies. So if you've got a sexy bench pose, this is your moment. Okay, without further ado, let me introduce and let's welcome our first speaker, Michelle Ann Moorhead.
Thanks everyone, and thanks for turning up tonight. I mean, Janie, as a lot of people knew, was such an inspiration, and she would love this. She would just love everybody with here tonight. She certainly wasn't shy coming forwards, as you will know if you did know Janie. So it's very apt tonight that it's a 15th year of LFF. Janie took LFF, you know, it was her life. She lived and breathed it, she really did. So a lot of you know Janie, but for anyone that didn't, so I've written myself a few little pointers because I've got a memory like goldfish. So Janie, the first thing I think about when I think of Janie is her sense of humour, and it was particularly a wicked sense of humour. A few examples of Janie's dry wit, shall we say. You could put a post on Facebook, and within literally 5 minutes it would come back covered in speech bubbles, taking the mickey. Hey, that was Janie. She always did that. She was such a good laugh. So yeah, but she really did have a kind heart though. When she was welcoming people out to LFF, it's being trans, it's not easy. This could be our first step into the real world, as you could say. But Janie was always there. She was always there to hold people's hands, literally, if they were scared to come out for their first time. She really did have such a massive heart of gold, she really did. And I can't really say how much their support meant to everyone that's here. It meant a lot to me. I don't know if you know I'm on the radio, but Janie, when I first did that, was so supportive. She was there all the time, she was boosting me posts, she was helping us out, and she was listening on a Sunday night, and every time it was always Lady Gaga, every single week. But that was Janie for you. She was so fantastic at doing that. If I could sum Janie up in 3 words, I would say welcoming, supportive and caring, because that's what she was all about. She really was. A few daft little stories. I remember when I first came out and ventured out my first LFF with my real hair. It was very short at the time. Geordie Jane's not here tonight, but I compared to Kevin Keegan since I walked in the Cosmopolitan Hotel that night. Very nice indeed. But it really did give Janie the courage. She messaged me about 3 or 4 weeks later. He said, you know what, Michelle, I'm going to do it as well. And she sent me lots of pictures. She was so nervous about going out for the first time with her real hair. And I remember saying to her, Janie, you can do this, you've so got this. And she came into Cosmopolitan that night. She was so nervous, and I gave her a massive hug. And I had a tear in my eye that night because she was so brave doing that. So she really did have a heart of gold, and she did help her friends. I suppose you could say we could argue really that Ruby Fury was her best friend. And of course we lost Ruby as well. And that really did hurt Janie a lot. It wasn't easy for her. She had a really hard time with that. And then of course she had her own battles to deal with when she had a cancer diagnosis. She took that bull by the horns. It was such an inspiration to see her posts on Facebook. It was so hard to see her going through the pain that she went through. But she was so strong. She had so much courage. She was such an inspiration. And she really did take the bull by the horns, and she wasn't going to let it beat her. But unfortunately it did in the end. But she's never far away. She really isn't far away. I remember the last time I saw Janie, we were on a night out in Leeds, and she found out I was in Leeds. And she messaged me, she said, I'll be down the New Penny, Michelle. Come down, come and see me. You've got to come and see me. And it was just amazing to see the courage. She was in so much pain at that time. She only really had about 4 weeks left at that point. But she still gave me a massive hug. The smile was still there. And that's what Janie was all about. She always put on the brave face. She lived for all of you guys. She lived for her friends. That was her life. She really was an absolute inspiration. Now I remember my first LFF, of course I was a bag of nerves at the time, and she just taken over not long before. But what she did, she moved LFF forward so much. I remember the first Pride we did, and me and Janie walking around that corner to the finish line. She was so proud of what she'd done. And if you remember, we were out first that day as well. She was absolutely amazing, and it was such an honour to be walking in that parade, representing LFF, which has helped so many people. And I wouldn't be standing here today without this event. It's that important. It wasn't just that, of course, we won so many Owly awards, and she was so proud of that as well. And she just deserved it so much for all the hard work that she put in. Now, Janie Marie Swann will never be forgotten. She's never going to be far away, and this bench really does sum that up. She's always going to be here, guys. She's never going to be very far away, and her legacy will live on through LFF. This has went from strength to strength. We've had 15 years. Here's to the next 15 years. So I've went on quite a bit. I knew I would, and I'm surprised I've got more emotional than I have. So I just want to thank all of you guys for everything you've done, supporting this event. It really is a great event. It is the biggest event in the UK. You should all be proud of that. And just don't forget Janie, of course. None of yous ever will. And every time I see this bench, I'm going to have a big smile on my face and remember my amazing friend. So thanks so much. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Sophie and I'm a regular attendee of Leeds First Friday, and I'm also one of the event organisers. So I want to talk about something which was really important to Janie and also very important to me, and that is the community. So I just want to share with you a little short story first. So on Friday the 1st of February 2019 was the day my life changed. That was my first Leeds First Friday, and also the first time I ventured out into the public sphere as my authentic self. I remember that night like it was yesterday. The feel of cheap waxy lipstick, the smell of the cheap deodorant, no idea how to apply eyeliner. The first time I stepped outside the hotel room was exhilarating. I was suddenly aware of every sound and how I would look to strangers. The frightening prospect of revealing a side of me that had only been confined to privacy. Every one of us who attend LFF have one of these stories to tell. We also know that, we also never look back and know how Leeds First Friday has changed our world. One thing that has kept our community as enriched and loving as we see on every Leeds First Friday is that you can come to this event knowing that you are safe from politics, safe from danger, safe from harm. For one day a month, we get to celebrate our individuality, away from all the pressures of the media and the nasty online faceless bigots. We have Janie to thank and those who came before her, who cultivated this amazing, loving community. The bench links the community through Janie Marie Swann. However, this is more than just a bench. This is a beautiful symbol of hope. One that raises its head above all the social media nastiness, all the hate. It stands as a statement to those who wish harm upon the trans community and gives them a two-fingered salute. Thank you. I want to thank those who have been key in organising Leeds First Friday over the years. I just want to shout out a few names. So Susan Platt, Cindy, Mandy, Tanya Carr, and Rachel, and the sorely missed, beautiful soul, Janie Marie Swann. And all of those who attended Leeds First Friday, back when it wasn't popular to be you deserve a huge pat on the back as well. I want to thank the venues for all they have done for us. Without them, we would not be here, and our community would not be thriving like it does. Thank you for making us feel welcome, like we belong. And finally, I want to thank those who were part of this project at Leeds City Council. This bench says to me that you noticed us. You have noticed our community, and that goes a very long way. It also reflects on the beautiful city of Leeds, one of, if not the most loving, compassionate cities in the UK right now. Thank you, Jeff Turnbull, Rob Wilson, Councillor Hannah Biffle, and all others who were involved at Leeds City Council for the bench. Have a lovely evening. I've been Sophie.
Thank you. Good evening, I'm Councillor James Lewis, leader of Leeds City Council. It's been wonderful hearing so many memories of Janie and what she meant to so many people. I knew Janie is somebody you'd bump into and have a laugh with after a few too many sherries, but it's just so great to hear the positive impact she had on so many people's lives. It's so fitting that we're here to unveil the bench in her honour. I think this shows what together on Lower Briggate and this part of Leeds, we really work together as a council, as a community, all the bar and venue owners and managers, all the people that work in the bars and everybody that comes out to show we are one strong community here, and this is a really positive sign of how we are working together to do that. And it's particularly at the moment to come and support the trans community. I remember growing up as a gay man in the 80s and particularly in the 90s when the media were vile about us, and I'd hoped that those days had passed, and they haven't, and everybody has my absolute solidarity and love in trying to deal with a lot of the stuff people have to put up with, and as a city council I'm committed that we will do everything we can to support the trans community in Leeds, and if we're not doing enough, let me know and we will really come and work and do what we can. And finally, just before we come to the unveiling, I would just like to say thank you on behalf of the City of Leeds to the Leeds First Friday founders, to Janie Marie, to the list of people Sophie read out that continue to organise the event today. You do a wonderful thing. You bring on the most amazing, inclusive, supportive nights in the country to our city in Leeds, and I think everybody here is so grateful for the work you do. As you've touched on, it's sometimes not easy, but you bring a wonderful thing to Leeds, and I think you deserve all our thanks for that. And at this point, Greg, I think we're ready to unveil the bench.
Are we ready with the phones?
Yes. Ready for the reveal. Hang on a second. Give the countdown, will you? 2, 3, go!
Thank you, everyone. Do you want to gather around and we can take a photo?